Graham, 4-0 defeat here against Newport in the FA Cup. I guess a difficult one to take, that one as well.
Yeah. I mean, well, obviously a lot revolves around the sending off because, like, after that, I mean, the players were, we said we wanted to take the game step by step. We didn't expect that to happen. But in fairness, they got to half-time 0-0, which obviously gave us, when you're in that situation, it does give you, hope to virtually pinch a result, if you know what I mean. Like, and at half-time, everybody was right, but, lo and behold, the officials let themselves down even on the first goal, where, there was blocks going on, so we paid the price of playing with 10 men for far too long in the game.
You mentioned the sending off. You were right in front of it. What was your view of that and the altercation that went on afterwards as well?
Yeah, I mean, I only saw the tackle and it looked just fair and square to me. If you see Young, both his legs, he's got deep cuts down both shins. So my interpretation was that he got the ball first. That was the most key. And I think we all know the lad, that he hasn't got that malice in him, to make a bad challenge. So it never occurred to me. I just thought, I was looking for which pocket the referee's going to, and it was so quick. The red was out like instantly, without any thought. So that's the way it goes. Well, we certainly didn't lie down after that, but obviously we decided to play. I've been in that situation before. Even 1v9 been before, if you can see it through, because they would have become edgier and edgier. But obviously the first goal probably came too quick in the second half. So I have no complaints about the other goals, but obviously no complaints about the effort that the players put in as well.
It seemed as the first half went on that yourself, Yossi and Carl were hatching plans as the game went on. You seemed to improve as well as you kept getting your message across to the players. So I guess for you guys, it was obviously an exhausting game as well. You've got to keep thinking on your feet. Yeah, well, there's no pleasure in it, is there? Because it becomes a strange game. It becomes almost a attack v defence. I know teams, have gone out and played good football, but we thought we had that to come. I thought there was. I mean, in fairness, we possibly should have scored first when Ruthers had his shot, but the keeper made a great save, which would have made it even more interesting. But when you're in that situation, I'm not condoning that it's 4, but if you're going to have a go, it may as well be 4. Obviously you have to open up a bit, and we put Chrissy on, but then obviously, you're disappointed that it's 4 because it actually puts a false scoreline to the effort that the players put in. So, but I've said to them there, they've got far too much to play for this season to let that get to them. It's obviously the heaviest defeat we've had, but under the circumstances, I think we have to, just sit down, talk about it, and get ourselves ready for the next challenges. Really. I guess you'd have been relieved to get to half-time at 0-0. What would you have had to say to your players during that break? No,
we were delighted. Obviously, like you said, we'd sort of, with the chat on the side, we sort of allowed their centre halves have the ball, which we've done before. We, probably pre-season, Forest Green, we sort of did that sort of thing because they're obviously extremely good football inside, and it becomes quite almost a farcical game because the two centre halves were knocking the ball between each other because they didn't know where to go with it. And then just what saddened me, it seemed to be a stupid corner really that we gave away that gave them the breakthrough. Because obviously when you're in that position, the 11 men are just looking for that break, and they got it. So then it becomes a little bit steeper hill to climb. So, but in fairness, the players stuck at it. But you could see it, not the effort dwindling, but any hopes of getting a result sort of drift away, don't they? Really, we have to be honest. We never gave up, but you need a good rub of the green to get back in the game at that stage. So, but it's a lesson to be learned. But we've learned a lot about the character that we never really doubted in the first place. But it was out there in abundance today, wasn't it?
I was going to say, did it give you a sense of pride in the players that were involved today who didn't give up even when the scoreline goes to 3 or 4-0?
Yeah, well, I think we know that our strongest 11 to 14 players really are going to give a good account of themselves at most times. But I think we've seen this last week as well with injuries to Robbo, and then Manny, like just feeling the effects of the other day, that all of a sudden we just looked a little bit light, didn't we, on players. So obviously that needs to be addressed, obviously, hopefully with the club. But the club want to move on and kick on. I think it just showed that they had a lot. When I looked at their squad, they got a lot of players, and we came here with 3 kids on the bench, really. So that's not an excuse for the result or anything like that. But it just probably it's little time to have a look at the whole season, what we've done, what we need to do, and where we need to go.
You mentioned having the 3 young guys on the bench as well. Was there any hesitation in adding those guys on there? I guess today would have been a good experience for them, but obviously still players in the youth team.
Yeah, I mean, they've all done well in training, but it was a necessity really today. That's what we were down to, with Robbo getting injured and Manny. But they certainly been joining in training a lot more recently in the last 2 weeks. So, like I say, it's a good experience to come here and see what they've seen. So they'll be better for it.
Focus turns, I guess, now from the FA Cup to the FA Trophy on Saturday against Boston United. You go from being a side playing a team in a high division to being that high division side against the National League North side. Yeah. I mean, I think I don't not make any secret that the league's obviously the priority, and there's lads we need to find out about, really. That not so much. I haven't seen much of 1 or 2 players play, so they'll come into consideration. But obviously we want to carry on in every competition that we're in. But I was hoping that it was the draw Leicester gave it this cup tie that extra, and I didn't think we missed out. Obviously we could have won it at home and probably should have done. But I thought up to, I know it was a short time, but up to Youngie getting sent off, it looked all right, to be quite honest. It was only a short period, but I would regularly say that we were the better team at that stage. Looked really comfortable. So that is even more disappointing, really. That I think if I look back at that, the minutes that he was on, we were all right. So for good luck to them, but it's just FA Cup. It either breaks your heart, usually breaks your heart, doesn't it? So been in it too long. We just got to get on with things now. Finally, a word on the 501 supporters, Wrexham supporters who come down today. Difficult journey to make on a Tuesday night as well.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, that shows where the club is at the moment. That the support's fantastic, and I have to say the players are responding in the right way. And I think they're such a good bunch of lads. I'd be. They'll not let them down many times, and that's the real main thing. The real. Really behind the club in a big way. It's a good dressing room, and if we can strengthen it, then we should have a good season.
Cheers, Greg.
Thank you, lads.